So today we are going to create a new contract. We're actually going to create a reservation, then we're going to make it an outgoing contract, and then we're going to close it all in one day. So from the navigation bar, we're going to select New Contract. I'm going to select Reservation, and I'm going to use today's date for the out date, but you can use the drop-down menu to select your date. But I'm going to use today. Actually, I'm going to use the 24th. And I'm going to hit Tab, and based upon your rules set, it will default what your rules are based out of, but you can use your drop down again to select a different date if you need to. Remember to always tab or put your cursor in the place. Don't press enter, press tab. So for the customer, you can search on a number of things. You can search on the customer name, the customer's address, the customer's first name, the customer's last name. And I'm going to put in Stacy. And I'm going to use my tab key. And I see here that I have a lot of Stacys. And I'm looking based upon the address, and I know her name was Stacy Arnett. So I'm going to make sure that she lives on 231 North Main Street. She does. So I'm going to either left click here one time and say OK, or I'm going to double click it. I double clicked it and it filled in all of her information. If I didn't have any of her information, I can go right here to the Edit Customer tab, fill in the information, and then once I save it, it'll ask me if I want to use this on the current contract. Over here it's details that you can put into your system. You may have some custom fields because these can all be custom made. You have your primary contact, and you may also have multiple additional contacts. This is where your rental discounts would be. So this would be for any rental items, this would be for any retail items, and this would be for any parts. If you don't have any discounts set up, we can show you how to do that as well. Now we're going to go to the items. Just like the search for the customer, you could do the same thing with your rental items. So I can type in table, press tab, and all my tables will pop up. And I have a lot of tables here. It also shows you the availability that you have with these tables. And I'm going to select the round tables. I can left click here one time and say OK, or I can just double click it. I double clicked it. I put my quantity in of 3. Hit tab. I can also change my rental total if I want to. I'm not going to, but I can right here just by clicking that and changing my price. And I'm going to say OK. I'm now going to look for chairs. And what's really nice at this point, if my list is way too long, I can even come back here and say chair white. Hit tab again, and it pulls up all my chairs that are white. I'm going to select this one. Again, I have the magnifying glasses here that I can see the details behind it. What's really nice is I have a picture, I have my rates, and I also have all the other contracts that are on there. I can even take a look. I can left click on here and take a look around if I want to see what all the contracts are that this white chair is on. I'm going to click off of it. I'm going to double click it, and I'm going to put a quantity of 6. Hit my tab key and say OK. You can also start typing a comment. And I hit tab and I say this is a test. I can have it print or not print on the contract. This is a test. And say OK. At any point, if you would like to edit or delete these items, all you have to do is highlight it by clicking one time left on your mouse, and right click here, and I can either edit, I could insert another line, I can move this up and down, I could delete this if I wanted to. To create a delivery, all you have to do is hit schedule. It'll automatically default to your out date. If you need to change this to the day before or the day after, you can simply do that just by this drop-down menu. Same thing with your pickups. You can schedule your pickup. It'll default to the date due in, but if you have to schedule a day after, you can just use your drop-down menu as well. You can then also add a deposit at any time if you want to. I'm not going to do that right now, but you can add that. And I'm going to select Save. It's asking me for my deposit again, and I'm going to say no deposit. If I had a deposit, I could put the total here, and I could select the payment amount. I'm going to preview this just to show you. Here's the contract. Here are your contract terms. And here's your transportation information that you can give to your drivers. So that is the reservation that we created. Now, how do I go back and find that reservation? Well, you go simply right here by, again, creating new contract, going to blank. And at this point, I could type in Stacy again, because I can't remember how to spell her last name. And I can see all the contracts that were created with Stacy. And this was the most current one right here that I used. And I could double click it and open it up again. Now at this point, if I want to make it an outgoing contract, all I have to do on my actions here on the left hand side, I can turn it into a contract, or I could turn it back into a quote if I needed to. I'm going to say turn it into a contract. I'm going to use my default dates of today, or that I created before, and I'm going to say okay. And now I'm going to return. Right here again on my actions, I'm going to return the contract for today's date. I'm going to say okay. And at this point, I could uncheck or check items if they were not returned. And I'm going to say okay. And I'm going to say okay. And at this point, just so you know, I'm going to preview it just so you can see that it was completed. And again, here's the total contract. That's how you create a contract and close a contract. If you have any questions, please let us know at 800-338-0686. Thank you.